Good morning to you. It's Monday, the 3rd of September, 2018. Welcome to today's United Kingdom talk, coming to you from Bracknell in Royal Berkshire. And you know the year is moving along very quickly now, because guess what's on Saturday? Last night at the proms. I do all the instruments, dear. Flutes and everything. Recorders, guitar, piano, boom, 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 boom. I can do all the instruments. Yes, land of hope and glory, and Jerusalem, those feet in ancient times. No doubt they do the Cornish musical thing. If you've not been with the show for very long, you won't know that last year I had the most fantastic experience of going to last night of the proms. I was so lucky with that. I'd been to a few concerts, I had two concerts, I think, with my mate to the Royal Albert Hall last year, and then I thought I'd really like to go to that last night of the proms, and I was asking around people. I said, oh, well, what you have to do is go to 6 concerts, I think, and then you go like in a lottery type thing. And they pull some names out of the hat, and if you get that, then you get the ticket. If not, then you don't get it. I think there's other ways to do it as well. What's the other way? Oh, yes, to actually queue up on the day. But, I mean, you'd be there for hours. A lot of people want to go to the last night of the proms. And I thought, oh, well. And then I discovered the name must remain nameless. I found someone who I knew who worked in the Royal Albert Hall. And the person managed. Oh, I've identified that it was a man now. Oh, no. This person managed to rustle up a couple of tickets for us. How fantastic is that? And we sat in the Royal Albert Hall. Now, we weren't guaranteed place, didn't know where we were going to sit. As it happens, we got a box almost right over the stage. Wow. Not on our own. There were 2 other people in there. But what a fantastic night that was. So that's last night of the proms on Saturday night on BBC One Colour. Yes, they do the first part on BBC Two, which is like the unknown stuff. I say unknown, unknown probably to me and you. And then all the known stuff like Rule Britannia is in the second half on BBC One. In full colour, stereo, Nicam digital, everything, dear. Everything's on everything. Everything. So that's on Saturday night. I won't be there, unfortunately, because I shall be somewhere just as good at the O2 in London for Mr. Barry Manilow's final show of his UK tour. Looks like we made it. Oh, I made it through the rain and kept myself respected. I love it. Barry Manilow. Yes, he's on tour at the moment. The Manilow girls, they go to all the concerts. There's a little group of ladies, and they go to every single concert that he's in. At the moment, Wendy Young, she has so far been to Leeds. I think that was on Friday night or Saturday night. And also to Manchester, which was either on Saturday or Sunday night, one of those 2. So she's seen them twice already, and the show, as always, is spectacular. There has never been in the history of the world a bad Barry Manilow show. That is it. That is it. Still a few tickets available. You won't get good tickets now, though. You'll probably be a little bit down the back, but it's still worth going, gang. Barry Manilow at the O2 on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday this week. In colour. Yes. I shall be there Thursday in the second row. Thank you very much. In the second row. And on Saturday, I'm a little bit further back into the side on Saturday. But that don't matter, because I get my good view on the Thursday night. So very much looking forward to that. Who's with us this morning? Let's have a little look there, dear. Good morning to Shania. First message on the Facebook Live this morning is from Shania. Good morning, delightful Shania. All right, darling. She's finished her Ventnor Carnival. Lights of it. Did anyone get electrocuted? I've never seen so many lights, dear. I thought they had a lot of lights lighting up Disney things, but then you've got the Isle of Wight carnivals all over the place. Electric lights exploded. Did anyone get electrocuted? Oh, it does concern me when people sort of walk out of places with fairy lights draped all round their necks. Mind you, a lot of them are battery operated now, aren't they? He just cut a couple of batteries in the bottom there. Good morning to John Parrish. Good morning, John, who's in the Philippines, where I gather it's Christmas today. Is that right, John? Are you having Christmas early or something like that? Is that right? Why is it Christmas in the Philippines? I don't understand. Have you decided that the baby Jesus was born in that manger and no, he hasn't got mange, in that manger, dear. I said manger, pay attention. Was the baby born in the stable, surrounded by the donkey and the sheep and the parrots and the budgerigars? And then wrapped in swaddling clothes by Mary and Joseph. Oh, yes. Have you decided that happens in September? Is that right? Why is that? Has someone redone the Bible? What's going on there? Morning, Adrian Richardson. Paul Mosley is in Birmingham, second biggest city in the UK. Forget that, Manchester. Hello to Jerry Cashmore. He's into hospital. Kidney failure. Are you getting new kidneys, Jerry? Or make sure you if they're giving you new kidneys, Jerry, make sure you get a picture of the person whose kidneys they're coming from. Because you don't want a munter. I'm sorry, I have to draw my line there, Jerry. You're going to have to make sure you know what the person looks like whose kidneys are coming into your body, my darling. Ask for a catalogue. Perhaps you can select someone. What sort of... Jerry, good luck, my friend, all right? Good luck while you're in hospital there. I love you, love. Joanna. Morning, Joanna. Hello to Diane Jeb. Good morning, Childers Jason. Good morning to you, sir. Paul's enjoying the singing this early on. Requests. Joanna, I think someone's jumping the gun here. What do you mean, requests? I haven't said there can be requests yet. She's jumping the gun. Oh, Joanna, she don't like to be left out, does she? All right, then, let's have a look. What do you want? One Vision by Queen. You only ever ask for Queen songs, don't you? Right. Now, if you're new to the show, you'll wonder why I'm taking requests. At 10 o'clock in an hour's time, I do a music and chat show that's at reachonair.com. Reachonair.com. And what I do on a Monday morning is take a few requests from people. And so that's why that's happening at the moment. So if you want a request, I can take 6 altogether. Then fire them away now. Someone's already had Queen. I'd like a ballad, if someone can choose a ballad. And Claire, hopefully, will be joining us at some point with the request for a classical piece, which I feel should be a Last Night of the Proms type song today, please. Okay? So get your requests in, gang. All right? That's the way to do it. Aztec Camera, Somewhere Here in My Heart, from Paul. One moment, let me write these down. Somewhere in my heart, yeah. Is that the one that goes da 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 at the beginning? Is that the one? La 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 la. It's like that, isn't it? I'm sure that's the one. Yes, I'm sure I'm correct. Aztec Camera, Paul Mosley. Oh look, 2 gone already. Hurry up. Good morning, Michelle White. She's on her way to look after the customers of Waitrose. Are you off today? Or are you working? Good afternoon, customer services. My name's Michelle. How may I help you? I think you should take the character of Fallon in Dynasty while you're at work, Michelle. Oh, you have already? I beg your pardon. You need to be a bitch. Absolutely, yes. You need to take the character of Fallon when you're working in Waitrose. I've been standing at the customer services area in Waitrose, and the crap people come out with when they bring in stuff back. This woman brought back a green orange. She said because all the others were, it was a few years ago now, because all the others were orange except this one, which she hadn't noticed was at the bottom. So she brought back the one green one. Of course, all the others, she never brought those back. I think she thought she was going to get a bag of oranges. Thieving old bags, all of them, dear. Watch out for that lot, I'm telling you that now. Thank God for that. Shania says no one's been electrocuted on the Isle of Wight. Oh, thank God. Do you have your own power station there on the Isle of Wight? Or does it come on underground cables, something like that? Don't know. The start of the decorations is the 1st of September in the Philippines. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Didn't know that. Isn't that strange and mysterious? Yes. Steps, it's the way you make me feel. Okay, Diane. There's our, it's the way you, it's the way you make me feel. Steps, there's our ballad. There's our ballad. First come, first served. Okay, first come, first. Purple Rain by Prince. Adrian. Yep, good one. Purple Rain, Purple Rain. Thank you, Adrian. There we are. I'm too sexy. Oh, no, Adrian. You can only have one, dear. I think you're being a bit greedy, Adrian. Greedy, greedy, greedy. No, only one song. I have selected Purple Rain for you from your extensive amount of requests that you've supplied too. Are we having a live weigh-in, Chris? We aren't having a live weigh-in, but I have weighed myself, Weird Citizen. News of that to come up very shortly. I weighed myself like 5 minutes before I came up here. And the reason for that is I was going to do a live one, but then I realised I've got carpet in here. And I think that might affect the scales in a different way. It's got to be, you're supposed to keep the scales in the same place. So they're actually down in the hallway. I did think, oh, maybe I should film myself, doing a weigh-in. But on a Monday, time is a bit tight on a Monday. So I've already weighed in. And I shall give you an honest, truthful weigh in just a few moments' time. Okay? Morning to Claire. There's Claire. Morning, Claire. There's Claire. She'll be choosing our classical number shortly, I hope. Gary Butler. Good morning, Gary Butler. Nephew Gary Butler is in the house. Something by the Eagles. Eagles. Okay. Weird City. That's it. We've got enough requests now, I think. Weird City Citizen. Ride of the Valkyrie. Yes, that's the one. Claire, let's try it again. Right. What happened to that the other week? I can't remember now. Valkyrie. Is it Valkyrie? What happened to that the other? Did I push the button and it stopped? I can't remember now. John Parrish. Oh, John. Oh, you're overloading me with requests now. You've lost that loving. You've lost that loving. Loving feeling. Oh, that's another ballad, isn't it? Mind you, the way you make me feel, that we can get away with that one because that's not too slow, if you see what I mean. Her internet went down. Oh, that's right. Yes, Claire. Thank you. That's right. No, it was 2 weeks ago. I haven't done the music and chat show for 2 weeks, have I? No, that's right. The internet went down the other week, so we couldn't do it. And then, of course, last week I was up north. Good. Excellent. Right. So where are we now? I've had a lovely weekend. Michelle said it was tempting to turn into Fallon at sometimes. I'm sure it is all the time in Waitrose. It must be. The chicken song. No, Paul, you can shove that one where the sun don't shine. We're not playing the chicken song. Reminds me of that awful song that won the Eurovision this year. The chicken song from Israel was dreadful. How does that win? Childers Jason, you can have some George Michael. Right, no more requests. Full up. Lines are closed. Please do not ask for a request now. Your request will not count and you may be still charged for the call. Thank you. George Childers in the USA. Jason, I'm in the USA in a few weeks' time now. Off to Vegas. And this weekend I have purchased some tickets, boys and girls, for my Vegas holiday with my nephew, Jimmy. So far, so we get there on... 1 minute, please. I should know this off BR. So we get there, we leave on the Tuesday. So we get there Tuesday. And on Wednesday, I have booked tickets for my nephew and I for the Rat Pack. They sing, stuff like Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, the sort of thing. Is Sammy Davis Jr.? Is Sammy Davis, is he Rat Pack? I don't know if he is or not. Anyway, so that's on the Wednesday. On the Thursday night, I've got tickets for Cirque du Soleil, Michael Jackson. Now, what is that? I'm not sure what that is. I thought it was like a show where someone does like a Michael Jackson tribute. Is that what Cirque du Soleil, or have I got that completely wrong? So I've got that as well. And on the Friday night, now this would be my big one. My nephew's big one will be seeing the Rat Pack song. He loves it. He's 21 and he loves all that old music. He had a 21st birthday party this year, which I went to. We did a little bit of a film for that. Actually, on the closing film, oh, there's a moth in here. Is that a moth? What is that? God's sake, just a moment. What that is, dear. Oh, it's just dropped down behind. Oh, there it is. What the hell is that insect there? Just a minute. Let me just squash it. Thank you. Yes. What is that? Look. Oh no. Oh dear. I don't know what the hell that is. Oh, it's evil looking. One moment, please. That'll have to be disinfected now. Thank you. That's gone now. Don't know. That's probably because the window's open. It's a bit dim outside. Let me close my window. There we are. That's better. It's a bit dim outside, and I think the television studio lights here that are illuminating me for your enjoyment are attracting insects from all over the world. Now, where was I? Oh, yes. On the closing video, you do see a little picture of my nephew at his 21st birthday, dressed in a tuxedo type, black jacket and all that business, and he's with some blonde girl. Now, the blonde girl, those of you that know, is doing Marilyn Monroe. So he booked someone to sing Frank Sinatra songs and a Marilyn Monroe. And it was really good, his 21st birthday party. And there's a bit where they're talking. She brings him up, of course, to the cake, and the cake is cut and all that. And she says, would you like to come over there? So I think she said something like, in that room over there with me. And he went, oh, hello, hello. And that's why when he looks sort of funny like that and looks all excited. My sister wasn't impressed at all. His mother wasn't impressed with that comment. All right. Oh, what's that? George Michael. I don't know if I got that one. I'll have a look for it, Childers, okay? I'll play you some George Michael anyway. So that was the 21st birthday. So he loves the Rat Pack stuff. He absolutely loves it. That will be his highlight. My highlight, I think, on Friday night will be 2 tickets in the Golden Circle. So that's right at the front for... Shall I give you a clue? Shall I give you a clue? All night long. All night long. All night long. That one? Or this one? Because I'm easy. Easy like Sunday morning. Any ideas yet? Lionel Richie. We are going to see Lionel Richie in Vegas on the Friday night. So that's 3 things I've booked so far. And I was going to book the Grand Canyon tour as well. But I remember we booked it when last time I went, it was about 4 or 5 years ago with my best mate. And we booked it while we were there. So I might wait until there because I don't want to book loads of stuff and not be sure that he don't want to do it. Well, all these 3 things, I've messaged him. I said, what do you want? And he said he wanted to see the Rat Pack. And I'm like, what about Michael Jackson? Yeah, so I booked that. I said, Lionel Richie? Oh, yeah, I like that. So I booked that as well. So 3 things. My mate says, well, you're only going for a week. That's already quite a lot to have been done. Do you know what I mean? And we might get there and think, oh, we'd like to do that, but we can't do that because this is booked. So I don't know what you think. What do you think about that? Do you see what I'm saying? If I was to book everything now and we get there, we haven't got time to do that now because we're doing this and this, even though we would have rather done that because all these are like non-returnable. Once you booked them, you can't get your money back if you change your mind or anything like that. So I think maybe... the Grand Canyon thing, you can just book any time, really, can't you? It's just the shows, really. So I think I might just stop there. And anything else that we want to do, I'll do. That's plenty of time. So that's the first 3 nights sorted, isn't it? We want 2 days of shopping because me and Jimmy love shopping. There's nothing actually I want to buy. There really isn't. Like clothes-wise, I often go to America and I come back with loads of clothes because it is a hell of a lot cheaper. You go to those designer outlets. I might like a couple of new jackets because I haven't bought a new jacket for ages. Might like something like that. But the clothes are so much cheaper. It's very, very expensive to buy stuff here, isn't it? It really is. Good morning, Maureen. Joining us on the texting service this morning. Oh, Maureen was mentioning the karaoke live streams that we do. She was saying about the date at the top. If you're on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Chris Reardon UK, right? If you're on there, when you always get the date, don't you? Not at the moment. When the show's finished, the date of today's show will go up there as part of the title. Well, that doesn't happen with the karaoke things. And Maureen was saying, can we get the date to go up there, sort of, so you know when she goes back when she was singing this sort of thing. And I thought, yes, okay. So I looked into that, and yes, I found a way of doing that, Maureen. So hopefully from tonight, when you go on there, it will say like karaoke from Central Station and Monday the 3rd of September 2018. All right, Maureen? So hopefully I'll be able to do that. Okay? Let's just go. Just go back a little bit. George Michael. Hello, DS Calon. Good morning to you. John says your place seems to be full of deadly insects. Yes, it's horrendous here. I thought it was bad enough in Australia, with the man-eating spiders and scorpions and crocodiles walking up and down Oxford Street. In Sydney, it's horrendous. The place is full of dead insects here. Morning to Mary, non-Irish Mary, and Ireland is there as well. Good morning, Mary. Having lunch with her hopefully tomorrow. Might not be here tomorrow because we've got a very busy day tomorrow. I've got to go to the hospital in the morning to have myself looked at. My what do you call it? Biannual? Twice a year. Is that biannual? Diannual? Dual annual? No. Twice a year, my little thing at the hospital to check me out. And meeting up with non-Irish Mary from Ireland afterwards for a spot of lunch. I must be careful what I'm eating tomorrow because I have had a weigh-in this morning. Are you ready? This morning I weigh 12 stone and 5 pounds. Thank you very much. 2 pounds lost in a week. Oh, yes. Happy. 2 pounds lost this week. So I'm very pleased to tell you I'm 12 stone, 5 pounds. I hoped to be 12.4 or 12.3 at a push, but that's come down from 12. What was it? 12.8 last week, or 12.7, 12.8 or 12.7, one of the two. So weight has gone down by 2 pounds. So I'm very pleased about that. Another week, hopefully another 2 pounds next week, and I'll be back in my range. So pleased about that. That is my weight this morning. Try the ride on the Stratosphere, John Parrish says. No, you're having a laugh, aren't you? We're not going on that. We are not going on the Stratosphere. Besides, he don't like that either. We don't understand the point of wanting to go on a ride showing you that you've got a good chance of dying. Why would you want to do that? Why? It's bad enough driving to London on the M4. No, thank you. We will not be going on the Stratosphere or any of those terribly dangerous rides. No, thank you very much. Alan Russell, we built this city. You're too late, Alan. I'm sorry, mate. There's no way I can squeeze another request in now, Alan. Sorry, try and get in earlier next time. If you got your lazy arse out of bed, you might have got requests in. Exactly. Who got up early today to take the kids to school? Ha 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 ha. Bye-bye, children. See you again next August. Might be able to move around in the swimming pool now. There's been hundreds of them. People in the pool moaning. Oh, the kids are in it. Oh, we're not coming now. The kids oh, don't be so miserable. They got to swim as well. Morning to our good friend Ab Dizirak. Good morning to you, sir. You're with us every morning now, aren't you? Whereabouts are you? I can't remember now. Is it hot there at the moment? It's cooling off here at the moment. Good morning to Charlie Sarson, who says, Doc's going to make you cough. I cough a lot, actually. I know what you mean, Charlie. No, that not once you go past a certain age. They don't do that one anymore. Okay, could you cough? Do you remember that? As a little boy when the doctor did that. It's so embarrassing. Why do they have to do that? It's horrible. Morning to Joe, who's in Austin, Texas this morning. Good morning, Joe. Paul says you can die on an aeroplane. Not in business class, you can't, Paul. That only happens to the people down the back. Usually you'll find in plane crashes, the people in business and class, that lands perfectly all right. It's just the people in economy where the tail literally falls off. And into the water go the people. Plop, 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 plop. Morning to Ray Reynolds. Claire has had a great weekend at Hayling Island. Oh, wow. Went on all the children's rides. Now the children's rides, I can do those. Small roller coasters, that go sort of very slowly. I can do those. I can do children's roller coasters. What I can't do is... No, we don't want to be on there. No, thank you. No, thank you. When on all the children's rides at the fun fair, can't do the big stuff, makes me feel like throwing up. God. Alan's going to bring in chocolate gatto. Yeah, I won't be eating any of that. Morning to Waynie Martin. Waynie Martin will be covering all my karaoke nights on my next 2 holidays. I've got one in September and one in October, and Waynie will be covering more. The Friday night one as well, which has surprised me. I didn't know you could do Fridays as well, so that's great. Paul went on a rage ride at Adventureland, cool roller coaster at Adventureland Southend. I don't know that. I don't know that one. Don't know that one. Yeah, no, I don't know that one. Southend, when's the last time I went there? Oh my God, that was years ago now. Absolutely years ago. So Saturday night was busy. I started cutting the hedge. I haven't done it this year. Now, I want you to help me here. I need a bit of help. Advice. We've got like a brown garden waste bin. That costs about £55 a year, right? If you don't pay that, they don't empty that bin. It's as simple as that. You've got to pay that. And it runs April to March. Well, I didn't pay it in April or May, June, July or August. Okay? So I've already lost 5 months. Besides, you don't really fill that up that often. The other alternative is to take your garden waste to the tip yourself and empty the bags there. Now, I've cut my hedge down. Part of my hedge is holly. I've got this great... This bush was only that big when I put it in years ago. It's massive, this holly tree now, holly bush type thing. And part of it is that pyracantha stuff with the massive spikes, and they are ever so sharp. You've got to be so careful with those. Now, putting it in the brown bin is actually fairly easy. You just pick it up with these leather gloves, plonk it in the bin, or with that rake thing, and you just chuck it in there like that. I intended to take it down the dump in some black plastic sacks. Getting the pyracantha into the black plastic sacks is nigh on impossible without ripping the bag to bits. So that's not possible. At the moment, I've put all the hedge stuff into the brown bin while I decide what to do. I was up here last night. I thought, oh, God, I think I'm just going to have to pay them. I'm just going to have to pay this 50, 55 quid, whatever it is, for them to come and do the bin. But they're only ever going to do it once or twice. This is the thing. Grass cuttings are easy enough. You just put them in a few black plastic bags, and when you get enough of them, take them down the dump, free of charge, get rid of them. That's it. Or pay them 55 quid for the year of emptying this blooming brown bin. It's excessive, that amount. If it was like 25 quid, 20 quid, I don't think I'd worry so much. But it does seem an awful lot of money. 55 quid. So how else am I going to do it? Can't use black plastic bags because they are literally ripped to shreds. You can't get, and then you've got to try and put them in another one because the first one's all ripped. And then so I can take them down the dump myself. So that stuff is in the bin at the moment. So I started cutting the hedge on Saturday. Then the battery went flat on my electric cordless hedge trimmer. Oh, it's wonderful, that is. Very, very powerful. But as the battery gets flat, it starts getting stuck. So when it's fully charged, like that, I'm not very straight. Not very funny, that, isn't it? Not very straight with the cutting. But it's done it. And unfortunately, some of the cuttings fall into my neighbour's garden, but they're cool about that. They know that sort of thing happens. Because it's been, of course, we've had a lovely weekend, especially yesterday. What a beautiful day yesterday. The sun was out there. We had a cloudless sky all day yesterday. Absolutely beautiful. So I've cut the edge, got so far, and then I had to give up, unfortunately, and put the battery back on charge. So that was it. I did a few more bits in the garden. Then I moved a plant. Now this was in a great big pot, and it was leaning over, and I thought, oh, this is outgrowing the pot. So I've moved that. I took that pot out and put that into the garden. I had to dig a very, very big hole. And I have to be careful in my garden because somewhere is buried the TV satellite cable. It goes into the ground. So somewhere in the garden is that. So you have to be quite careful while you're cutting in, digging around. Because you don't want to slice that in half. That'd be another 200 quid, wouldn't it? Get someone in to put a new cable in. Went to work, come back. When I got home from work on Saturday night, I was going to watch Casualty, and I thought, oh, the X Factor started. So I unusually watched the X Factor, or at least about half of it. And, do you know, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was quite good. They've got a brand new judging panel. Robbie Williams is just as outrageous as he always is. He was quite good. His wife is very nice, but her lips, she's had her lips done. They're too big. They look dreadful, those lips. You know, when they have it pumped full of that stuff. Did you see Robbie Williams' wife? What's her name? What does she do? Does she do anything? I don't recognise her. I don't think I even knew he was married, to be honest. Anyway, she's got this great big lips. And to be fair, a lot of ladies seem to be doing this now on the television. I just think it looks absolutely awful. Especially on the American, like the news channels and all this. They've all got fake faces. No one looks like they should look anymore. The funny thing is, all these women and men, look at that bloke who wants to look like Barbie or whoever it is, Ken from Barbie. What the hell does he look like? It's just a freak. I'm sorry, a freak. Awful. People have said to me, why don't you have a bit of Botox? Because I don't want to look like these people. That's why. It's awful. The woman herself, she's nice enough. It's just the lips. Once you've had that done to your lips, can you have it taken out again somehow? I mean, surely if you got a spot and went like that, or the filler would just shoot out, wouldn't it? Oh, dear. So those two, they're okay. The pair of them are all right. Personality-wise, they're fine, both of them. He's got great personalities on that board this year, I must say. And then we've got Louis from One Direction. Now, Louis from One Direction, I thought, well, he's a bit young and he hasn't been around enough to be a judge. And I still stick by that. But he's good on the panel. He's a lot of fun and he's nice. Yeah, and let's be honest, girls, he looks good, doesn't he? Not as good as me, of course. But he does look good on that telly. And I was very impressed with little Louis Tomlinson or Tompkinson or whatever it is. Yeah, he was good on there. And Simon's sitting on the end. Well, I don't know what he's had done to his face. It's all swollen. It's all swollen. And for the entire show, he's got this little fan that he had in front of him. It's all red, his face. So I think he's had something done to his face. And it just looks horrendous. It's all fat and puffed up. Never mind, eh? And then the singers came on, and there was a couple. The best singers on there were these two. Were they both black, or was one black and one white? One had a pair of tan trousers on. There were two. I think there were two, maybe black or mixed race lads, and they came on. They were really good, really good. And there were two very mediocre girls on there. One that started crying. Oh, this is all I've ever wanted to do. And it's 3 yeses from us. Oh, God. They're very average voices. They were nothing special, either of them. There was a blonde girl. She had, I don't know if her makeup was running or she had a bad eye, one of the two, but she kept, oh dear me, it's all too much, it really is. So the X Factor, I'll carry on watching that for a while and see if I can get into it. But better than it has been for years, really, I think, the X Factor. I quite like the new panel. I do like the new panel, yes. So that was that. Let's have a look. Sunday I went to church. They've started singing the psalm again at church tonight because they don't usually sing it in August. So they were singing it, and there she was once again. The old bag at the top there is constantly out of tune. Oh, God. She starts screeching, she did. And Vivian, who sits next to me, the glasses came down her nose. Well, when she starts singing, so Vivian will be, she'll have she's got her own prayer book, Vivian. I don't have my own prayer book. I use the church's hit prayer books. So she's got a prayer book, and then she starts singing, and Vivian goes like this to me. Like that. That's all she does. And the screeching banshee, and the screeching banshee was in full volume on Sunday, let me tell you that. Oh, it's awful. But there's a bloke who does it as well. He's very good. Very good. I don't know why she must be in charge of the choir or something. Because if you was in charge of the choir, you wouldn't have her singing the class arm. Dear me. Come back here. No, I didn't come back here. On my way home, so I've got on my bike and I've turned a corner and sort of the back front wheel went a bit funny. I thought, oh no, and flat tyre. And this was just gone a little further down from the church. And front flat tyre, I thought, oh no. Anyway, so I got a pump in my pannier on the back of the bike. So I got that out, pumped it out. And as I'm pumping it, I can hear it hissing. Psst. I thought, oh, the air's going in and it's coming straight out again. Oh, please don't let this be a fouled tyre this far. Because if it is, that's about a 2.5 hour walk back to my house. It's a long journey. And plus, I hadn't had my 10 o'clock peels, and it was now 10:05. I would have been 2 hours late for my peels. Very, very dangerous. Dear me. That happened to two of my mates once. They hadn't had their peels on time. Half an hour later, they're walking back from the pub, and they contracted pneumonia straight away. No, mustn't joke about those things. So then I discovered, which I completely forgot about, I had this little canister of foam stuff for temporarily repairing tyres on bikes. So you can get them I've got one for the car, which I've used once when I had my Toyota Yaris. I did use it. So you get a flat tyre, and instead of changing the wheel, you put this thing on, you screw it on, and then you turn the can on, and it pumps it full of foam and air. It doesn't pump it up to what it should be, but enough to get you home. So I've got this thing and I'm putting it on. And I'm pushing the on button to pump it in. And the foam's just coming out. It's coming out around the valve. I thought, oh, that don't work. Maybe it's the valve. So I then took the valve off. I tried to take the valve off and I couldn't get it to unscrew. And I didn't have a pair of pliers or anything. Oh dear. So then I thought I'll try once more with the air, and I pumped it in again. Took the foam stuff off and put more air in, and this time it stayed. So I managed to get home. Thank God for that. Otherwise, it would have been it's about a 25-minute cycle. So a 25-minute cycle is about a 2.5 hour walk. That's a long way to walk. Although it was a beautiful day on Sunday, as I say, to walk back in that sunshine would have been nice. So I got back here. My battery was fully charged now for the to do the hedge. So I carried on cutting the hedge, and that's all nice and done now. Then I had a shower. I do like to have a shower after I've been working in the garden, don't you? Oh, you're all hot and sweaty and horrible. And then came back into my living room and carried on. And no one's mentioned this morning. I'm very surprised. No one's mentioned. I carried on with my latest Lego item. And if you look in the background, it's finished. Look at that. Now, this is quite a large one. I shall just, it's like this. There we are, look. Let me come closer. There we are. My latest Lego. Now, this is pretty impressive. It's got a little boat on the back, which disconnects. Look at this. Look, it comes off like that. And it's got a little door that opens there. You can open the door. And you can see, I don't know if you can see that inside. There's all cookers and things like that. And then, like, if you're going along, and you may have seen this, I think this is a Willy Bago or something in it. Look, that comes out like that. That's where you'd have a little bit more space, you see. And that's fantastic. It's got a skateboard here, and a ladder there that comes off, and an awning. Look at this. Look. How fantastic is that? So you'd have that door open while you're enjoying the summer sun. I shall replace it here for now. There we are, my latest Lego model. Oh, did you want to see in the front? In the front. So you've got chairs in the front to sit there. I don't know if you can see the light shining on there a bit. That's fantastic, isn't it? Oh, and the back opens. I forgot that. The back opens up. And then you can see inside. See? So I don't know how many hours work. There's about 5 hours work there altogether, I think. And it's great. Although I was quite disappointed. There were a couple of bits missing this time. And don't usually have bits missing. I've never had bits missing. There's been a few parts missing, which I've been able to work around. Or the wrong thing. So if it's like a yellow square, there might be a brown one instead. So I don't know how that works. Presumably it's some sort of machines that put these little bits of plastic in plastic bags when you get home. But it's quite a simple thing. You just identify the part. From you get an instruction book with it and all the parts are on there, pictures of the parts and the part number. You simply ring them up and they send you them in the post, so that's easy enough. But still, a bit disappointed, especially if it's all right for me, but if a child and they're putting this thing together and there's bits missing, that must be disappointing for them, mustn't it, eh? So that's my latest thing. When I was moving the plant, I had to dig up a load of everlasting geraniums. They're like these pink flowers. They grow everywhere around here. And as I was digging, I thought, I saw movement. Oh, I wonder what that was. There's loads of little mini frogs. So I had to be really careful because you don't want to kill frogs in the garden. No, they eat all those vile insects. I need a few in here to stop the blooming things flying in here. Horrible things. So it was little mini frogs. There's about 4 of them jumping. As I was getting near with the spade, they were jumping out the way. So I was very careful not to hurt the mini frogs. Had a little bit of a sleep, got up, had dinner, went down the swimming pool, and came back here. No, I didn't. I got up, went to the swimming. I did some work in the house, did a bit of hoovering, got the bin out ready for today. Went to the swimming pool, had my swim. Ronnie came over, my mate came over to the swimming pool, took me back home. Then I had dinner, then he went home, and I watched The Bodyguard, part 3 of The Bodyguard. How rude was that? God! Parts 1 and 2. Now we've had part 3. Well, I've never seen that on the telly before. I've seen men's bums. We did see his bum. Did you see his bum? Wasn't that nice? Not as nice as mine, obviously. I have the best bum in the UK of all men. That is true. That is true. So we saw his bum, but then later on in the programme, it was horrendous. She was standing there and I don't know how to say this at this time of the morning. I've got to clean it up a little bit. How am I going to do this? Let me think. Right. She was standing against her wall, looking at the man, and she put her hand down her knickers. That's all I'm saying. It was horrendous. Horrendous. I thought I can't. My mouth dropped open because I haven't seen that on the telly before. Not like that. Not like that. That was a bit too much. And I think, to be honest, a bit unnecessary to put that on the telly. It certainly turned my stomach. She had her hand down her knickers. Did you see it on The Bodyguard last night? But apart from that, another excellent episode. I won't tell you what happens at the end, in case you haven't watched it yet. Please watch The Bodyguard on BBC One Colour. Sunday. I don't know if is it on tonight as well? It's certainly on Sundays. I don't know what other nights it's on. And that's been my weekend. Hands down knickers, girls. Come on. Not on the telly. Dear me. Right, let's go back to some of your messages, and then I think we're going to have to finish up. I had loads of... by the way, the X Factor, apparently, according to the papers this morning, has launched to its lowest audience since 2004, as fans blast it for being as tired as Simon Cowell's face. That's true enough. He didn't. It's something wrong with Simon Cowell's face. He's obviously had something done to it. No doubt he thinks it looks fantastic, like the women and their lips. Right, let's just go do some of these messages for you. 1 second, my darlings. There we are. Good morning to Dr. SOS Gregorian. Good morning to you, sir. John Parrish, the time to worry is when the doctor tests your prostate and you feel both his hands on your shoulders. Oh, aren't you awful? Oh, come on now. I can't do all these messages. We haven't got time. When Reading started charging for the garden bins, I've not paid for it. I used the landfill, the waste management guy from the council. Yeah, I'll use the land... Oh, what, the landfill? The green bin? What, for your garden waste? Really? Are we allowed to do that? I suppose you could just put a little bit in there each time, couldn't you, when I think about it? Do you know what? Yeah, the garden bins today, innit? The landfill bins today, I won't have time to do it today. I didn't think of that. If you put a little bit in there at a time, I suppose that's allowed, is it? Oh, I don't know, really. But I'm not paying £55 for a bin. I'm sorry, it's too much. It's far too much. Paul, the bloke who does Barbie, looks more like Barbie than Ken. He's just the weirdest looking bloke ever, isn't he? Why you would have all that done to your face, I don't know. Claire, on the subject of the lips, the worst one was Leslie Ash. Yes, she was beautiful until she had their lips done. Why do they do it, Claire? I mean, look at you, Claire. I'm not being funny. You're very pretty. You're very beautiful. You've had nothing done to your face. Why do people do it? It just looks awful. Cher. Look at Cher. I mean, who wants to look that miserable anyway? Scarlett Moffat says Paul off Gogglebox have had her lips pumped up. They're all doing it now, you know. They are all doing it. John Paris stopped having facelift when he started peeing out of his ears. How awful. Adrian says you sound like a goat when you try to cry. I don't like goats' eyes. They're scary. Goats' eyes are really scary. Ross, good morning, Ross, who says I should be a judge on X Factor. For what? John Parrish, pills for what? Don't be so bloody nosy, John. Ross, you should get a slime tube and then don't get punctures. I've got slime in there. There's slime in there. I always get the slime stuff. So I think it might have been something to do with the valve. And maybe when I tried to turn it, it sealed it up. I don't know. Mark's coming to see Barry Manilow on Saturday as well. You're coming for the dinner as well at TGI Fridays. Oh, yes, on Saturday. Claire says it's better than her caravan. It's great, that, isn't it? Isn't it? Well, I think the sun's gone in. Let's just do the awning up. There we go. Look at this. Look. Oh, it's great, this. Ronnie came over. He usually takes the piss out of anything I do. But he was impressed with that. It's quite large. If I put that next to my head, look. That is actually quite a large model, that. That's great, isn't it? Absolutely great. Don't know what I'm going to do next. Don't know if I should tackle one of the really big ones next. I'll have to save up a bit for that because that's quite a lot of money. Someone sent me a link where they had cheaper... Just a second, I'm just checking the other messages there. So they were selling Lego a lot cheaper, but the link went through to China and I was a bit... I don't know about that. Do you know what I mean? A bit worried about that. What's the age of the Lego? Oh, okay. What, that one? That's a different box. That box is downstairs. I think it was some 8 to 17, I think it was. 8 years old to 17, I think, all right. Paul likes the Lego model. Are you sure you didn't drop the missing bits? No, because they won't go on. I won't do it on the sofa. I've got a dedicated table downstairs. It gets put on there, and once it's on there, it doesn't move off there until it's finished. I'm aware, and there are some small bits. Actually, a couple of bits weren't that small, but they were just missing. Very disappointed. Thank you. Is it a chip van? No, Mary, it's not a chip van. Weird Citizen, Leslie Ass, big fish lips. Yes, she has. Dennis Waterman's scary new teeth. I haven't seen him for ages, Dennis Waterman. No. SOS Gregorian, Gogglebox and X Factor are fake shows. Yeah, like a lot of what's on the telly. A lot of it's fake on the telly. A lot of it's fake on the telly. It really is. Okay, talking of telly, it's running out of time here. I think we'll just have to go to the birthday. Oh, just very quickly. Talking of telly, this morning. So I'm a bit of a fan of the BBC's breakfast show. And I flicked across today to ITV. The two shows couldn't be more different if they tried, I don't think. You switch on BBC Breakfast. I'm sure you've noticed this as well if you watch breakfast television in the morning. Oh, incidentally, there's a job at Radio 2 going. Chris Evans is leaving. His breakfast show. 88 to 91 FM, Radio 2 from the BBC. Ba, 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 ba. Oh, yes. It flashed up on my news thing this morning. Chris Evans is to leave his breakfast show. He's been doing it for 8 years. Can you believe that? 8 years he's been doing that. And I saw a picture of him in the Daily Mail. No wonder he wants to leave. He looks really wrecked. Knackered, dear. Knackered. So there might be a job on Radio 2. Do you think I could get that? I'll tell you what, make your own decision. Listen to my radio show this morning at 10 o'clock, reachonair.com, for my music and chat show, where I'll be playing the requests, hopefully, that you sent in. All right? So watching the BBC Breakfast Time this morning, and it's nice and warm and calm and relaxing watching that. And, where was Steph today? Steph was, I can't remember. She was outside today. Steph. I think Steph has taken over as my favourite from Naga. She wasn't on this morning. She was on at the weekend. It was Naga. I used to like Naga the best. Now I like Steph the best. She's the big girl. She's not fat, just big, with the blonde hair. She's wonderful, she is. So friendly and warm. I love it, BBC Breakfast. You turn it over onto that dreadful ITV programme, Good Morning Britain, right? And you got that ghastly man with the piggy eyes, Piers, what's his name? Piers, but he's sitting there in the middle, a great big fat thing he is, with his little piggy eyes, and it's loud, and it's brash, and it's awful. And then, who comes on? Andy Peters. He's outside in a school. I think it was Andy Peters. He looks exactly the same as he did 30 years ago. How's he managed that? He looks exactly the same, and he's running around, and he's just so loud. I thought, I can't be doing with this first thing in the morning, dear. And I turned it off again. They were doing win a pencil case or something like that, and you open the pencil case, and there were either pens in there or money, one of the two. Did you see him? Andy Peters. Anyway, it's too much for me. The ITV breakfast show is just too loud, and it's brash. Oh, it's awful. Awful. No, I switched back on to BBC Breakfast Time, nice and calm and soothing, while I was sitting there having my cup of tea and my breakfast. Ross, on the subject of Chris Evans, I can't stand him on Radio 2. Never plays full songs. Tony Blackburn should do it. Yes. Oh, Tony, I must send him a tweet. Our good friend Tony Blackburn needs a tweet to tell him that the breakfast show is now available. I bet they're on the phone to him at this moment. I do hope so. Okay, right, let's do today's birthdays, and then I must get ready for my music and chat show at reachonair.com, which will be starting at 10 o'clock. I haven't left myself much time to do it. I do today's birthdays and yesterday's, okay? Happy birthday today to Scott Lewis. Good morning, Scott. Happy birthday to you, sir. Chevon Anderson is a young 33 years old today. Good morning. Justin Anderson. Justin Left Eye. One of my favourite people of the black cap in the early 2000s. You must be 20, I don't know, 18, 28, 28, 27, 26, something like that. Justin. One of my black cap boys. Happy birthday to you today. Neiol Wolfson, good morning. Happy birthday, Neiol. Nuno Rodriguez Payo is 41 years old today. Anne Duffy is 51 years old today. Philip Reardon, my own namesake, happy birthday to you this morning. And McGoo Zer, it's his birthday as well this morning. And yesterday's birthdays then, where are we going now? Events, one moment please. Yesterday's birthdays we have Kaydien. Let me tell you, boys and girls, Kaydien is so good looking. You would willingly sell your whole house and everything that you've got just for one date with Kaydien. That is true. He is 43 years old. Wow. Happy birthday, Kaydien, for yesterday, all right? When are you coming to sing for us again at the karaoke? Is it tonight? Is it tonight? Do I need to tidy up the house? If you're coming down tonight, do I need to... Happy birthday, Kaydien. Montego Brown is 32 years old yesterday. Aidan Cooper. Good morning, Aidan. 17 years old yesterday. Alan Hooper is 40 years old yesterday. Cheryl Torres, who's also raising money for Survival International. Happy birthday for yesterday, Cheryl. Paul Wurzel Shirley his birthday yesterday, and that's it, I think. Did I miss one out there? Did I do Anne Duffy? Did I do you, Anne? Oh, I might have missed Anne Duffy out. I don't know. Maybe I did it, maybe I didn't. But no, if I did already, then you've got your birthday wish twice in a day. Twice in a day, Anne, all right? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Have a nice birthday. Thank you, gang. All right, tonight it's karaoke tonight. Join us at Central Station for Monday night karaoke tonight. That's in North London at 37 Wharfdale Road, London, N1 9SD. Karaoke tonight and every Monday night from 7:30 p.m. at Central Station. Thanks very much for joining us on the show. Once again, boys and girls, don't forget, do join me in just 10 minutes. Oh, am I going to do that? I don't know. 10 minutes time. At 10 o'clock for my music and chat show. You can listen right now. I don't know what's on at the moment. I think it's non-stop music at the moment. And then I come on. It's around about 2 minutes past 10, actually, by the time I get on there. Okay, so music and chat show, reachonair.com in 10 minutes' time. Have a nice Monday, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.